everybody, this is Dave Nasty over here at Next Level Guitar, and today we're going to do some really cool lessons that we haven't had a chance to do in quite some time. I've got a different guitar that I normally don't play here in these videos, right? It looks a bit like a sword. It's a fantastic instrument. We're going to throw a bunch of notes around. So let's talk about some cool techniques and some different ways to do things that you may have already seen in some previous videos, but we're going to put a spin on it. You know, I was inspired myself by all these in-the-spired of lessons that we had been doing, and I was thinking, how can we put some spins on some of the old information and make it so, more importantly, you know how to practice it, and in turn do some different things that I know people today aren't necessarily always paying attention to. So that's our mission statement. Hey everybody, now is the time where I'm going to give you the best information in the video. All you got to do is click on that link that you see below. I know you see it. It's right down there in that YouTube text box. All you got to do is click on that link that you see in that text box, and you know what? You're going to get a free video that is not available on YouTube. It comes with a free coinciding ebook that is not available, obviously, on YouTube. You get all kinds of great stuff, and all you got to do is click that link. Again, free video, free coinciding ebook, tons of great information. That's all you got to do, one simple click. So we're going to play out of a mixolydian scale shape starting on A today, and some of these things that we're going to do are going to be taught in a symmetrical fashion, but we'll be referring to the scale shapes quite a bit. So here's what it looks like. Really easy. Okay, so I kind of am going to think of this as B minor. I'm saying A mixolydian, right? But I'm going to refer to this as my B natural minor for all intents and purposes today. So what I want to talk about is this technique. So now when you first hear that, let's really break down what's happening. A lot of what this is derived from in classic rock terminology, you might refer to this in some like Van Halen style licks. Right, all kinds of neat little things that like you might have heard in the past. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a different spin on it and talk about how to put accents within a group of 6 notes. So check it out. What I'm really going to do now is I'm going to start with a hammer on. I'm going to do one downstroke. So I have down, hammer, hammer. And now I'm going to pick up, down with my right hand. So that gives me a really nice smooth. And we're keeping it nice and easy. Now, what we're going to do with this that makes it a bit more interesting is we're going to accent the group of 4 pick notes that we have going on within this. So if you notice, we have an up, down, up when we go to this 5th string and we're articulating these pick notes. Now, when I teach this to people, a lot of times people will say, well, why do I got to do an upstroke on the 5th string? I can start with a down and play it just as fast. Hang with me, and we're going to get to that. So there's a really important reason as to why we want to accent it that way. So we're talking about the 5th string and these 4 pick notes. I have up, down, up, down. Now, if I take this idea and I'm trying to work on it, I'm going very, structured with a metronome. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, and I'm just really regimented. I'm going to have this slow, I guess, gradation, you would say, to getting faster, but I might get a mental trap in there somewhere because I'm just working with a metronome and I'm sticking straight to that metronome, and that's what we want to beat out of this, is we want to learn how to play things quickly, but we want to make sure that we don't get stuck. We don't have any mental blocks within our playing. That's a big thing. Sometimes that happens. So we kind of want to come from the other angle of it, and we want to just say, hey, I'm going to get my hands cooking as fast as we can, and I'm going to make sure everything syncs together. Accenting this 4 pick notes within this run does that. So let's look at what my right hand's doing. I'm going to turn just a little bit. Now, this is the first video I'm shooting today. I'm trying to play this as fast as I can. Hopefully it'll get better as the lesson goes on. Information's still solid, people. So I'm thinking da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da, 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 over and over again. Now, we start the lick, we go, and we're starting on that 6th string. But if you listen real close, you hear that accent within that. So now I'm going to go back shifting this way. We see where we're placing an accent of 4 within a group of 6 notes. And what it does is it changes our perception of how we're going about this. And this is really, really cool and a different way to break out of the norm. We want to practice things in a new fashion today. That's what we're going for. So I'm sticking with 6. Now I'm going to do 9. Now you hear a little bit of a whip that starts to happen within these techniques. This is the most significant part of this, right? And I'll tell you in a second, I have a little side story as to where this information comes from, but it's really, really, really special. So what I want to do with this is I'll break this down. We have down, hammer, hammer, upstroke, hammer, hammer, up, down, up. So yes, the note in between was played with an upstroke. Everything that starts is played with a down. Everything in between, all the strings in between, are played with an upstroke, and the last 3 pick notes are always up, down, up. So we have up, down, up, down, up. So now we're getting into a really cool kind of accelerated way of picking. If you get this really smooth, everything sounds like it's picked. Even your hammer notes kind of sound like it's picked, and that's really, really cool. And the other thing is, it kind of sounds like a car starting. You get it going faster. So we're going to work on this just right here in this shape, concentrating again only on these low strings. And let's point out a couple of other key factors in there. For some of you guys that are a bit more beginner with this, there's still a ton of information that's important. Let's look at how I've got my pick, how I'm holding it, right? I am bending my thumb so it's crossing at a bit more of an angle. I'm using the tip of the pick the best way I can. And I'm palm muting everything, so it's got that. Really tight kind of feel there. So this is a pattern now that we can exploit all over the guitar. And this is a 2-part lesson that we're doing. This is going to be just getting comfortable with it, a way to practice it. Then we're going to talk about how playing 6 notes, maybe even accenting 4 pick notes within that 6, can really take you in some cool places on the guitar. And right now we just want to get comfortable with it in this shape. A lot of times, I said at the beginning of the video, you can do these things symmetrically. So let's say if I want to go for it here, let's see where my fingers are at, see if I can pull it off. Try 12 notes, right? So we're going to go down, hammer, hammer, up, hammer, hammer, up, down, up. Now this is symmetrical, atonal here. If you want to go to the scale shape, we would jump up here. It's a big jump when we're learning this, so that's why I'm thinking maybe we'll just keep it there for a second, just for right now. Look at that huge jump. I'm going all the way from my 3rd string. I'm going to tilt this way. I'm going from my 3rd string all the way to that 6th. Get a little more warmed up as this video is going on. And you can hear that. Look at that quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a great way to practice this if you're coming from the 4th string. And we're just doing the 9. There would be the 4 for the 6, the 4 for the 9, the 4 for the 12. So that's 12. That's a total pain in the butt, but it's awesome. We love this kind of stuff. How can we put this into a scale shape? Well, that's kind of the next thing that we're going to talk about. Let's start with just doing 6s and 9s. That was doing 12. So now we're moving into some great things. Let's do the 6s and 9s throughout a whole scale shape. Starting on the next one, that's my 6. My 9. Next one, my 6. My 9. 6. And there's my 9. So I can take it through the whole scale, and I got some really cool ways to work on these different techniques. So, you know what? I think we might just want to cap it off right there for this, because this is super important. Now, in this video, this is information I gotta say that comes from one of my biggest influences, a gentleman by the name of Shawn Lane. So if you're a fan of his, you'll notice the style of picking, you'll notice the style of play, and in some later videos you're gonna see how we can take this into other elements of our playing, not just be influenced by him, but make it that it's something that you can do yourself. So again, I'll recap, and then we'll put a little bookend to this video. So I appreciate you checking it out. I'm starting with a downstroke. I have down, hammer, hammer, down. Try one more time. You can leave that in there. I don't care. I'll be honest with you. It's hard to do. I'm just trying to share it. I like to share it. That was a little bit better. So, you know what? It's not about necessarily always showing off with your ideas. It's about conveying them. And that's the most important thing for me, is to show you something that's really, really cool and that you can experiment with in your everyday. So, I'm going to take that. I'm going to leave you with that. I appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Go to the website. We're taking things to a whole nother place.
Over 1,060 lessons.
Over 1,060 lessons.
And growing.
And growing. We're strong and we're growing every day. Thanks so much, people. I appreciate it.